County Fair. I do apologize to all of our youngsters. We forgot to do our Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll do that tonight before the Master Showmanship. I apologize. It's Friday and I'm tired. But anyhow, we're going to start off with our dairy cattle show this morning. Our first class is going to be Holstein Intermediate Heifer calves.
Combining all of them.
And we're going to actually bring them all in here. So we also have Brown Swiss Junior Heifer calf. So we've got Selena Cuellar and Maggie Mendrick with the Holsteins. Cooper Harris and Morgan Harris will be bringing in the Brown Swiss. Our judge this morning, Ty Cleaver, Klamath Falls, Oregon.
brand for each species.
And then,
And then the
I
overall.
have
Okay.
overall.
Your dairy show this morning is not the biggest on numbers, but there's certainly plenty of quality in here. I think both our Holstein and Brown Swiss divisions are relatively close placings in my mind. Our Holstein division, I'm going to go ahead and start with the heifer on my right. This December heifer is one who I really appreciate for her femininity and her dairy character. She's very level from her hooks to her pins. She's very appropriate in terms of the set to her thurl. She's a heifer who I think has a little bit of a capacity advantage, a little bit bigger barreled, very sound on her feet and legs. Then our second place Holstein, one who I think is in an advantage in femininity and dairy character, one who has a performance advantage considering she's over a month younger than her December heifer. One who would probably like to move up a little bit in terms of her thurls. She is a little bit sloping from her hooks to her pins, and a little bit more off in the way she gets around and travels, but a very nice, very close pair of Holstein females. Then our Brown Swiss are very, very different types of heifers. These two August heifers, the one on the left I see as having an advantage in terms of femininity and dairy character. One that you might like to just widen up a little bit. The young man's heifer we like a little bit more in terms of her depth of body and the overall amount of capacity and performance that she has. With that, we're going to go ahead and make the young man's heifer first and the young lady's heifer second. And then for our champion overall dairy female, we're going to use our Holstein and then our champion Brown Swiss. Thank you.
Our champion Holstein is Selena Cuellar. Our reserve champion Holstein is Maggie Mendrick. Our champion Brown Swiss is Cooper Harris. Reserve champion there is Morgan Harris. So the overall champion dairy heifer is Selena Cuellar, and then Cooper Harris will be the reserve. So congratulations to them. And that will do it for the dairy show. So we will get ready for our breeding cattle show. So we'll start off with the FFA classes. If you have a beef heifer and you are an FFA, make your way on over here to the show ring. We'll get started with our breeding show. We'll show all of our heifers, and then we'll show a cow-calf pair, and then we'll show a bull, and that'll do it for our FFA breeding class. So our first class is going to be an Angus April Junior Yearling Heifer, and Tanner Meads will be our competitor in that class. I apologize there. I turned ahead a page there. So our first class is going to be an Angus Junior Heifer Calf, January 1st, and Coulter Meads. Coulter Meads bringing that one in.
Very nice February heifer to start our FFA breeding division here. And the first thing that better strike you about this gal is just mass. Especially for a purebred British breed, she's very, very muscular, very wide. You really like how stout she is in terms of her bone work. And a heifer that gets around and travels very, very nicely as well. In a perfect world, would we like this heifer to be a little bit bolder in her forerib, and would we like to trim her navel up a little bit? Yes, we probably would, but all in all, just a really, really powerful entry to start the day with.
Congratulations, Coulter Meads. That is our Angus Junior Heifer Calf. We'll now bring in our next class, and that is our Angus April Junior Yearling Heifer, and that is Tanner Meads.
very, very nice April yearling heifer the young man brings us, and you know, as far as about whatever you want to look at in beef cattle, I think this heifer does it pretty well. She's very, very feminine fronted. Her shoulders are laid in very smoothly, but then she goes to being really super deep bodied, very, very wide and powerful throughout her hip and down into her quarter. And to top that off, gets around on a very, very sound set of feet and legs in a very fluid fashion. Just one that I think it'd take a pretty good one to get around her. Very, very nice heifer.
Congratulations, Tanner Meads, champion Angus April Junior Yearling Heifer. Our next class will be Coulter Meads with an Angus Cow and Calf.
Very nice 2-year-old cow and calf these young men bring us here. You really have to be impressed by the scale and the length that this cow has. She's very sound. She has very good width and very good flushing ability, and has raised a heck of a calf to this point. In a perfect world for being a 2-year-old, would we like to tighten her udder and her teats up a little bit? Yes, we probably would. Would we like to maybe trim a little bit of navel off of her? Probably, but that's being pretty critical of a pretty nice cow. Thank you.
Congratulations to Coulter Meads. So we will bring all of those Black Angus back in to determine our overall Angus winner. And then we will bring in a Red Angus heifer, and we will then determine our overall female champion.
It's my turn.
Okay, so we will bring in all of our class champions. On the Angus side of things, we've got Coulter Meads with his Angus Junior Heifer Calf. Tanner Meads with his Angus April Junior Yearling Heifer. And then we have Coulter Meads with his Angus Cow and Calf. We'll determine our overall champion Angus female on the FFA side.
Albeit not a lot of numbers here in our FFA Angus show, we have 3 very, very nice quality females out here to work with. And, we talked about the heifer, one that you really like and appreciate the power she has. You'd probably like to bolden her up through her forerib just a little bit, and again, maybe trim a little bit of navel off of her in an ideal world. And her mother, a very big, stout cow, doing a really nice job. And you really got to just admire the length and extension she brings to the table. Then we have this bred heifer, the April, and this is a female who I think is just very complete, and there's not really a whole heck of a lot that I don't like about her. She's a very, very complete package. With that, we're going to go ahead. She'll be your champion female. The cow will be your reserve. Congratulations.
Our next class will be a Red Angus Junior Heifer Calf, Mason Murdoch. We'll bring that one in. Then we'll bring in our champion Angus and put them against each other to determine our overall FFA female.
Again, we have another single entry class with a very, very good female in it. There's a lot to like with this Red Angus heifer. The first thing that sticks out to me is, especially for being relatively moderate frame, she is nearly abnormally long-bodied. I really, really appreciate that. She's very feminine and has very good width and spring to her rib. A heifer with more than enough muscle, and gets out and travels on a really nice set of feet and legs. A very nice, very complete female that the young man brings us.
Congratulations to Mason Murdoch with our champion Red Angus female. We'll bring in So to determine our supreme FFA female, we will bring in Tanner Meads with his junior yearling heifer. And we will bring in Coulter Meads with his cow and calf. And then we will bring in Mason Murdoch with his Red Angus Junior heifer, determine our supreme female. And then we will show a 2-year-old bull.
Again, for only having 4 head in this show, you got to appreciate that there's 4 really, really good females out here, and I think you just look at overall completeness. In my mind, the heifer over here on the end wins pretty convincingly. She'll go ahead and be our champion FFA female. And then it gets really, really contentious from that point forward. My one thing, everything's always subjective to what you have in front of you at the time. And the cow kind of being a little bit more pinched as you get up into her rib. I like the really easy flushing type of this red Angus heifer over here. She'll go ahead and be our reserve.
Thank you.
Okay.
So our supreme female belongs to Tanner Meads, is Angus April Jr. Yearling Heifer. And our reserve supreme is Mason Murdoch with that red Angus Jr. Heifer calf. Let's give a round of applause to all of our females in our FFA breeding show. We will now bring in our bull class, and that is a 2-year-old bull, Angus 2-year-old bull, Coulter Meads. Going to show that animal as soon as he gets reorganized here.
A very, very impressive 2-year-old bull the young man brings us. One that, the first thing that's got to strike you about him, in my opinion, is just, he's stout, rugged, everything you kind of want a bull to be. Very, very massive, both in his chest floor and when you get behind him. Really nice, really trim and tight in his sheath. A bull who you really appreciate the feed on him. And just a really complete package. In a perfect world, would we like to make him a little bit more flexible when he gets out and travels? Perhaps we would, but when you get him stopped, this is a very, very impressive animal. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Coulter Meads with his Angus 2-year-old bull. And that will do it for our FFA breeding classes. So we will move into our 4-H breeding classes and then into our open breeding classes. So we'll take a deep breath here and keep going. Our first 4-H breeding class will be Kinsley Dennis. And she's got a Red Angus Heifer.
Yeah, very nice Red Angus heifer to start our 4-H show. You really like this heifer a lot for her femininity, her structural soundness as she gets out and goes. Appears to be very nicely patterned, have adequate width to her. It'll be fun to watch this heifer as she continues to grow and develop. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Kinsley Dennis. Good job. All right, so we will move into our next class. Mac Murdoch will be our first entry in here with a Red Angus Cow. What do we got here? Making his way in.
A very nice Red Angus heifer the young man brings us, and the first words that come to my mind when I look at her is broody, functional, and stout. This is a heifer who you really, really like her capacity and her volume. Very, very wide and very sound in terms of the way she gets out and travels. In an ideal world, would we like to stretch that front end out just a little bit more? We probably would, but nonetheless, that's getting very nitpicky on a very, very cowy heifer the young man brings us. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mac Murdoch, our champion Red Angus Junior Yearling Heifer. We'll bring out a complete class of Mac Murdoch here real shortly, a Red Angus Senior Cow, producing cow with production records. Red Angus Dam and Produce, and a Red Angus junior calf. So it's the Mac Murdoch show here very soon.
So, albeit we only have 2 animals in the ring, we have a multitude of things. So we have the senior cow, the junior bull, the dam and the produce, and cow pair with production records. And we have very high quality entries for all the above. This is a cow you have to appreciate a lot about. She's very, very long-bodied. She's very sound in terms of the way she travels. Obviously very easy fleshing and has gotten the job done really well with the really nice bull calf that she has at side. This calf I like from a standpoint of structural soundness. He's got adequate width, more than adequate depth, and balances up very nicely when you get off the side and study him. A really, really nice pair that these exhibitors have brought us today. Thank you.
Now, congratulations to Mac Murdoch with the champion Red Angus Junior Bull, the champion Red Angus Senior Cow, the champion Red Angus Producing Cow with 4-H production records, and the champion Red Angus Dam and Produce. And now we'll bring in the Red Angus Junior Yearling Heifer. Tanner Meads leading a red cow. And Kinsley Dennis in there with her Red Angus heifer.
Showmanship.
Much as was the case with our Angus division earlier, our Red Angus here, we don't have a whole lot of numbers, but we have a whole lot of quality and a lot of very good cattle. And, you know, again, we really, really like this cow and her calf. We appreciated the femininity, the youthfulness, and the soundness of this little red heifer, and really like the brew cow potential that we find in our bred heifer that the young man brings us. We're going to go ahead, we're going to use this cow to be our champion. We'll use our bred heifer to be our reserve champion. Thank you. Do we have some like black red deal going on here.
Well, congratulations to Mac Murdoch, the Supreme Red Angus female with his cow, and the Red Heifer from Mac Murdoch, the Reserve. All right, we will go to our Angus Junior Yearling Heifers. This is Sydney Dodge, Coulter Raymond, and Pace Raymond. Beth Curry Smith, also in the ring, with her Black Angus Junior calf.
very nice class of Angus females that we have here, and the top pair are kind of a little bit of two different types. The heifer that we're going to go start with is the one that, for me, I just see more width and more, I guess I would say, practicality and from end to end. This is a heifer who, you like her with the chest, you like the spring and shape she has to her ribs. She comes really nice and wide out of her pins and carries that down to the ground. With that, she gets around and travels on a very nice set of legs. I think this is just a very complete, very functional type of female that we have. The one that really grabs your attention when she walks in here is the heifer in second, a heifer that's very, very highly presented, and when you get out off the side of her, you really, really have to like the pattern that this female brings to us today. She's really, really super flexible as she gets out and travels, maybe almost a little bit overset on her hind leg. Kind of the difference in the pair to me is just when you watch him come at you and go away from you, I see quite a bit more width in the heifer that wins the class, but nonetheless, you have an absolutely beautiful silhouette on this female to use in your breeding program as you head forward. Then we come to kind of, we're going to call the meat and potatoes heifer that the young man brings us. This is a heifer that you obviously like her fleshing ability, her capacity, and the overall amount of muscle that she has to compete with the pair of heifers up above her. Would just like to make her a little bit bigger in her kind and stretch that front end out a little bit more. And then to take nothing away from the young lady's April heifer, this is one that was at a little bit of an age disadvantage in this class. You want to talk about one that's really nice and feminine, yet still having some width and some substance to her, and getting around and traveling nicely. I think she does a lot of nice things, and will do a lot of nice things in this young lady's breeding project.
Congratulations to Coulter Raymond for winning our Black Angus Junior Yearling Heifer class. Second was Sydney Dodge, third was Pace Raymond, and fourth was Beth Curry Smith. Junior Shorthorn Yearling class right now, Royce Francis, our contestant.
Very nice shorthorn female the young man brings us. One who, you really appreciate her femininity, her length of side, and her structural correctness as she comes down to the ground. A heifer that also has more than an adequate amount of muscle to go along with it. In an ideal world, would we like to make her a little bit more moderate and a little bit deeper sided? Perhaps we would, but at the same time, we certainly appreciate the femininity, the length, and the muscle that she brings to us today.
Congratulations, Royce Francis, our shorthorn heifer out there. Royce was getting a nice hairdo back here behind the scenes before he went in as well. We'll go now to Mackenzie Marks with her crossbred junior yearling heifer.
Okay, very nice January commercial heifer the young lady brings us. A heifer who I really appreciate for her femininity, how free and easy she gets out and travels. And albeit she's not the biggest framed one that we've seen today, one that's just very complete and fault-free in terms of the overall way that she's put together. So she'll wait in the ring right now, and we'll bring in the rest of her 4-H heifers.
So we will bring all of our females in for the 4-H Supreme. Started off with Mac Murdoch and his pair. Royce Francis will be in there as well, but we'll bring in Coulter Raymond and his junior heifer. So here's Royce Francis with his short horn, and then Mackenzie Marks already out there with her crossbred junior yearling heifer. We'll determine our 4-H Supreme female at this point.
I again would like to commend these young people on the quality of the heifers that they brought us throughout both your FFA and 4-H shows today. Bringing breeding animals to fair is a lot of extra effort. I really admire that you took the time to do that and bring this great set of females for everyone to see here this morning. With that, you know, we have a lot of quality and a lot of depth of quality. As far as your overall champion reserve goes, there's two out here that I really like quite a bit. I'll go out and show you who those two are at this time. Thank you.
Congratulations to Mac Murdoch, the supreme female out there with that red Angus cow. And then Coulter Raymond with the reserve champion. That will do it for our 4-H breeding show. We'll move now into the open class. Our first class will be a commercial junior heifer with Rose Murray.
It's a very nice spring yearling heifer the young lady brings us. Heifer who you just really like her type and her cowiness that she brings to the table. Very feminine fronted, very deep bodied, more than adequate in terms of her muscle, and a heifer that's really nice and sound on her feet and legs. A really, really nice entry that the young lady brings us today.
Congratulations to Rosemary and her spring yearling heifer. Our next class will be a commercial summer heifer, and Connor Martin is going to be the showman.
A very nice April heifer that this young man brings us. One who you really like the muscle and the shape of her. Very adequate in terms of her capacity. Adequate in terms of her femininity. Would we like her to take a little longer backstrap when she gets out? Perhaps we would, but that's taken. That is one thing we might like to change in this otherwise very, very nice heifer. Good job.
Congratulations, Connor Martin. And that commercial heifer out there. Got a senior yearling commercial heifer. Riley Martin, gonna bring that one in. Got this one decked out.
For full disclosure, this may be the first accessorized heifer I've ever seen in the show ring. But with that, this coming 2-year-old, I really like a lot about her. She's very, very feminine. She's very, very wide. She's very, very deep-bodied. And very sound on her feet and legs as well. She's going to have her first calf this coming December, and from what we can see so far, she's dropping a really nice high-quality udder. I think this is a very nice female for this young lady's project. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Riley Martin with her senior yearling heifer. And now we'll bring in Chandler Sexton. This kid has been waiting to show this critter all day long. It's a March Junior yearling heifer, Red Angus, Chandler Sexton.
Have a very nice Red Angus female this young man brings us, and she's one that you really, really appreciate from a design standpoint. Very flexible when she gets out and travels, very, very soft in her pasterns. A heifer who is very, very nice and feminine and elegant up through her front end, comes very level out of her hooks to her pins and has adequate width to go along with it. A very nice, complete female. It's going to make a very nice project for this young man.
Good job, Chandler Sexton, with his March Junior yearling Red Angus heifer. We're going to bring in a number of different females here. Start with the junior heifer calf, belonging to Ronna Meads. Two junior yearling heifers, one led by Tanner Meads, one by Coulter Raymond, and a junior cow. All the Angus breed. Most of these belong to Ronna Meads, except for the one that Coulter Raymond is leading. That is Raymond's. Good-looking class of Angus cattle. Pee Wee Showman, you are just moments away from getting to show a critter. So all you Pee Wee Showman, you can make your way over here to the auction block and get ready to show a heifer or cow or whatever you end up with.
Hey, four very nice Angus females out here who could, I think, withstand a lot of competition, a lot of levels. Again, this bred heifer we've seen a couple times today. I just appreciate her for being a very complete, very, very fault-free female. Again, tons of body, lots of width to her. But with that, I would still describe her as being very feminine and very elegant up through her front end. She's one who I really like the practicality of her frame size, and just a heifer that I think does an awful lot of good, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for this young man to show as he gets into fall and other venues he gets to present her at. Then we come to a cow or a heifer who I really just appreciate her very cow-like appearance and her broodiness. I would say, you know, leg-wise and body-wise, she's very, very similar to the young man's bred heifer. The determining factor between them is she has that kind of body with probably a significantly prettier front end, but two very, very nice bred heifers. Then the cow, one that you love the femininity of, one that you love the length of her. Comparative to her competitors at this point, just like to bolden her up in her forerib, and a very, very powerful February heifer that follows her you just really have to be impressed with the stoutness and the width of this young heifer. 4 very, very good, very high quality animals here in the ring. Okay.
All right, so as we go through our sheets here, a lot of classes in that class. Rhonda Meads will win the junior heifer calf class. April junior yearling heifer, Rhonda Meads will win that. Coulter Raymond will be second. Looks like our Get of Sire was won by Rhonda Meads. And now we'll get ready to bring in a bull that belongs to Rhonda Meads as well. After this class, we'll bring back in all of our females to determine our champion 4-H breeding female. Open, yeah, where are we today? It's open. We're in the open class now.
Again, a very impressive bull that this young man brings us. Again, we really like his stoutness, his ruggedness, super wide from end to end. Has a real nice look to him when he stopped on the side profile. Again, would we like to free him up and make him a little bit more flexible as he comes and goes? We probably would, but again, when he gets stopped, one that is a very impressive individual.
Congratulations to Rhonda Meads. Coulter showing that bull. We'll bring back in all of our females to determine our overall open class female. Here's Rose Murray. Connor Martin. Riley Martin will make her way in as well. Chandler Sexton coming in with his red Angus heifer. We'll also bring Rhonda Meads and Coulter Raymond.
Okay, very nice group of females you had here in your Umatilla County Open Show. Lots of different types, but lots of quality from end to end. And I think there's one that I find to win fairly easily. Then I think the reserve is very competitive between a couple of them. But we'll go out and we'll show you which two we like. And congratulations to all these exhibitors on a excellent group of females they brought for us today.
Congratulations to Ronna Meads with the Supreme Open Female, Coulter Raymond, the Reserve, with those junior yearling heifers. The Pee Wee Showmanship will follow here as soon as we congratulate all of our showmen that are out here with their open class females. Thank you to Ty Cleaver, our judge this morning. Ty comes to us from Klamath Falls, his second year judging the beef here at the Umatilla County Fair, and guy with a cattle feeding background himself. And now it is Pee Wee Showmanship. Okay, all right. We're going to bring in a whole bunch of Pee Wees.
very nice to see your next generation coming here in Umatilla County, and after the very, very good youth shows that we got to see the last couple days, it's good to know that the future of the world is in good hands. Had a lot of young people do a really good job for us out here, and I have good news for everyone. Everyone has a special award waiting for them. Very good job, everyone. Congratulations.
Well, thank you to all of our Pee Wee showmen, and thank you to Ty Cleaver, our judge, for our cattle show this week. And that will do it for everything in the beef barn. We'll have our lamb showmanship, or our breeding classes in our sheep department a little bit later on this afternoon. Our master showmanship tonight at 6. And then, of course, we round out the Umatilla County Fair with our youth livestock sale tomorrow. So we invite you to come back again and support all of our youngsters here at the Umatilla County Fair.